What if I told you that everything you've been taught about fitting in, about conforming to society's expectations, about seeking validation from others, what if all of that has been holding you back from your true potential? Welcome back to Official Sigma Male, where we dive deep into the mindset that separates the exceptional from the ordinary. Today, we're exploring a fundamental truth that every Sigma male knows in his core. Being different has always been both our greatest curse and our most powerful strength. While the world celebrates the alpha's dominance and accepts the beta's submission, the Sigma stands apart, misunderstood, often criticized, but ultimately unstoppable. Think about the greatest innovators, the most successful entrepreneurs, the men who changed the world. Steve Jobs, Nikola Tesla, Elon Musk, all Sigma males who were ridiculed, dismissed, and called crazy before they revolutionized everything. Their difference wasn't a flaw to be fixed. It was their superpower waiting to be unleashed. But here's what most people don't understand about the Sigma journey. This difference comes with a price. It means walking a path that others can't see, making decisions that others can't comprehend, and often standing alone when everyone else follows the crowd. It's not easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. In this deep dive, we'll explore why your unconventional thinking isn't a weakness, but your greatest asset. How to transform the isolation that comes with being different into strategic advantage. And most importantly, how to weaponize your uniqueness in a world that desperately tries to make everyone the same. If you're ready to understand why being different isn't just acceptable, but absolutely essential for the Sigma male, then this is exactly where you need to be. And if this resonates with you, hit that subscribe button, because this channel is built for men who refuse to be ordinary, and we're just getting started on this journey together. The curse of seeing what others cannot see. The Sigma male exists in a perpetual state of clarity that others find uncomfortable, while the masses stumble through life accepting surface-level explanations. The Sigma sees patterns, connections, and truths that remain invisible to everyone else. This isn't arrogance. It's a burden that comes with having a mind that naturally operates on a different frequency. Consider how Warren Buffett saw value in companies that others dismissed as worthless, or how Michael Burry predicted the 2008 financial crisis while everyone else celebrated the housing boom. These men weren't lucky. They were Sigma males cursed with the ability to see beyond the illusions that comfort the majority. This curse manifests in every aspect of a Sigma's life. In social situations, while others engage in small talk, the Sigma observes behavioral patterns, power dynamics, and hidden motivations. In business meetings, while colleagues focus on quarterly reports, the Sigma sees systemic flaws that will destroy the company in 5 years. In relationships, while others fall for facades, the Sigma recognizes authentic character beneath the surface. The curse intensifies because trying to share these insights often leads to rejection, mockery, or being labeled as negative or overly analytical. People don't want to hear that their favorite restaurant is failing because of poor financial management, or that their romantic partner displays narcissistic tendencies, or that their career path leads nowhere. They prefer comfortable lies to uncomfortable truths. This creates a profound isolation. The Sigma knows things others don't, sees dangers others ignore, and recognizes opportunities others miss. It's like being the only sober person at a party full of drunk people. You see everything clearly, while everyone else stumbles through their delusions. But here's where the curse transforms into strength. This clarity becomes your competitive advantage. While others make decisions based on incomplete information, emotions, or social pressure, you make decisions based on reality. While they react to symptoms, you address root causes. While they chase trends, you anticipate them. The Key is learning to weaponize this sight without becoming cynical or bitter. Your ability to see what others cannot isn't a punishment. It's your superpower. The challenge is using it strategically, knowing when to share your insights and when to keep them to yourself, when to warn others and when to simply position yourself advantageously. Remember, Cassandra in Greek mythology was cursed to see the future but never be believed. The Sigma male faces a similar curse, but unlike Cassandra, you have the power to act on what you see. Your curse becomes your strength when you stop trying to convince others and start using your clarity to build the life you deserve. Why society fears the Sigma difference. Society operates on consensus reality, a shared agreement about how things should work, what success looks like, and which behaviors are acceptable. The Sigma male threatens this consensus simply by existing authentically. Your very presence challenges the fundamental assumptions that keep social hierarchies stable and predictable. Think about it from society's perspective. The entire system depends on people playing their assigned roles. Alphas lead the pack, betas follow willingly, women respond to traditional displays of dominance, and everyone participates in the status games that keep the machine running. Then along comes the Sigma. Successful without seeking approval, influential without demanding attention, attractive without playing by the rules. This creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. If a man can achieve everything the alpha achieves without needing to dominate others, what does that say about the alpha's methods? If someone can build wealth without climbing corporate ladders, what does that say about traditional career paths? If a person can command respect without seeking validation, what does that say about the entire social media culture we've built? The Sigma male proves that there are alternative paths to success, happiness, and fulfillment. This is terrifying to a society that has invested everything in maintaining current structures. Your success without conformity suggests that conformity might not be necessary. Your happiness without external validation suggests that most people are chasing the wrong things. Consider how the media portrays men who don't fit traditional molds. They're often characterized as antisocial, weird, or potentially dangerous. This isn't accidental. It's a defense mechanism. Society needs people to believe that deviation from the norm leads to failure and isolation. The successful, fulfilled Sigma male contradicts this narrative completely. The fear runs deeper than simple jealousy. Your difference suggests that the emperor has no clothes. When you refuse to participate in status competitions, you reveal how meaningless they truly are. When you achieve success through unconventional means, you expose the inefficiency of conventional paths. When you find fulfillment without external approval, you highlight how empty the approval-seeking lifestyle really is. This is why Sigma males often face subtle hostility, even when they've done nothing wrong. Your mere existence is a challenge to everything others have been taught to believe. You're not just different, you're proof that their way isn't the only way, and possibly not even the best way. But here's the powerful realization: this fear is confirmation that you're on the right path. When society pushes back against your authenticity, it's because your authenticity threatens their illusions. When people try to shame you back into conformity, it's because your non-conformity highlights their own compromises. The Sigma male's difference isn't just personal rebellion, it's evolutionary advantage. You represent the next step in human development, the move beyond herd mentality toward individual excellence. Society fears this evolution because it threatens existing power structures, but evolution doesn't ask for permission. The strategic advantage of being misunderstood. While most people desperately seek to be understood, appreciated, and recognized, the Sigma male has learned to weaponize misunderstanding as a strategic advantage. When others underestimate you, dismiss your capabilities, or misread your intentions, they hand you power. They don't even realize they're giving away. Consider the business world, where being underestimated is often the greatest competitive advantage possible. While your flashy competitors draw attention to their strategies, attract scrutiny from rivals, and face constant pressure to perform, you operate in the shadows. Your competitors waste energy managing perceptions while you focus entirely on results. This dynamic played out perfectly in the tech industry. While established companies dismissed Amazon as just a bookstore, Jeff Bezos built the infrastructure for global domination. While social media companies focused on flashy features, Mark Zuckerberg quietly built the world's largest social network. These Sigma entrepreneurs understood that being misunderstood bought them time and space to execute their vision without interference. The misunderstanding works because most people judge others by their own standards and motivations. Alphas assume everyone wants to be the center of attention, so they misread the Sigma's low profile as lack of ambition. Betas assume everyone needs external validation, so they misread the Sigma's independence as loneliness. Women often assume every successful man wants to show off his success, so they misread the Sigma's discretion as insecurity. These misreadings create blind spots that the Sigma can exploit. When people underestimate your intelligence, they reveal information they should keep secret. When they misread your intentions, they fail to defend against your actual strategies. When they dismiss your potential, they don't compete seriously for opportunities you're quietly pursuing. In personal relationships, being misunderstood allows you to observe people's true character. When someone thinks you're not paying attention, they reveal who they really are. When they believe you're not important enough to impress, they drop their masks. When they assume you won't succeed, they show you exactly how they treat people they consider beneath them. This intelligence gathering is invaluable. While others waste time managing impressions and playing social games, you're collecting real data about people's character, motivations, and capabilities. You see who's loyal when they think loyalty doesn't matter, who's competent when they're not trying to impress, and who's trustworthy when they believe there are no consequences. The key is maintaining this advantage without becoming bitter or cynical. Being misunderstood isn't about being antisocial or mysterious for its own sake. It's about creating the space you need to operate effectively. You're not hiding from the world. You're positioning yourself strategically within it. The Sigma, who masters this advantage, learns to be selectively understood. You reveal yourself completely to those who matter, true friends, business partners, romantic interests who've proven themselves worthy. But for everyone else, you remain an enigma, allowing their misconceptions to work in your favor. Remember, in a world where everyone is performing for attention, the person who doesn't need an audience has tremendous power. Your willingness to be misunderstood is actually your refusal to be controlled by others' opinions, and that refusal is the foundation of true freedom. Transforming isolation into independence. The Sigma male's journey often begins in isolation, not by choice, but by circumstance. While others naturally fell into social groups, found their tribes, or followed conventional paths, you found yourself standing apart. What starts as loneliness, however, can become your greatest source of strength if you learn to transform isolation into deliberate independence. This transformation isn't about becoming antisocial or rejecting all human connection. It's about recognizing that your comfort with solitude gives you powers that others lack. While most people fear being alone with their thoughts, you've learned to thrive in that space. While others need constant social validation to feel valuable, you've developed an internal compass that guides you regardless of external opinion. Consider how this independence manifests in decision-making. When faced with important choices, most people immediately seek advice, validation, or approval from friends, family, or colleagues. They crowdsource their decisions, often ending up with watered-down compromises that satisfy no one completely. The Sigma, however, has learned to trust his own judgment, to analyze situations independently, and to make decisions based on his own values and long-term vision. This doesn't mean making decisions in a vacuum or ignoring valuable input from others. It means having the confidence to ultimately trust your own analysis and the courage to act on your convictions, even when others disagree. It means being comfortable with taking responsibility for both successes and failures without needing to blame or credit others. The independence extends to emotional regulation as well. While others ride emotional roller coasters based on social approval or disapproval, the Sigma has developed emotional stability that comes from within. Your mood doesn't depend on how many likes your post received, whether you were invited to a party, or how others reacted to your success. This emotional independence is incredibly powerful because it means you can maintain clear thinking and effective action regardless of external circumstances. In the professional world, this independence translates to career advantages that others simply don't possess. You're not afraid to negotiate aggressively because you don't need your boss's approval for your self-worth. You're willing to leave toxic work environments because you don't define yourself by your job title. You can start your own business because you don't need the security blanket of group belonging that employment provides to others. The romantic implications are equally significant. While others compromise their authenticity to maintain relationships, you attract partners who are genuinely compatible with who you really are. Your independence is attractive to high-quality people who are secure in themselves and repulsive to those who need codependent relationships to feel complete. But perhaps most importantly, your comfort with isolation has taught you to be genuinely interesting to yourself. You've developed hobbies, interests, and passions that don't require other people's participation or approval. You can spend hours alone without boredom because you've cultivated a rich internal life. This makes you more interesting to others as well. People are drawn to those who have something going on beneath the surface. The key to this transformation is reframing your relationship with solitude. Instead of seeing alone time as something to endure until social opportunities arise, see it as valuable space for reflection, planning, skill development, and creative thinking. Use your isolation to become someone worth knowing, and independence will naturally follow. The power of unconventional thinking. The Sigma male's greatest weapon isn't physical strength, social status, or inherited wealth. It's the ability to think in ways that others simply cannot or will not. While the majority operates within accepted frameworks, following established patterns and conventional wisdom, the Sigma has developed the cognitive flexibility to see problems from entirely different angles and discover solutions that others miss completely. This unconventional thinking stems from your outsider perspective. Because you haven't been fully absorbed into groupthink mentalities, you've maintained the ability to question assumptions that others accept without examination. While they see limitations, you see possibilities. While they follow established procedures, you design better systems. While they accept that's just how things work, you ask, what if they worked differently? Consider how this plays out in business innovation. The most revolutionary companies weren't created by following business school formulas or copying successful models. Netflix didn't emerge from traditional video rental thinking. It came from questioning why people needed to leave their homes to access entertainment. Uber didn't improve taxi services. It reimagined transportation entirely. These breakthrough innovations required unconventional thinking that could see beyond existing paradigms. The Sigma male applies this same cognitive approach to every area of life. In career development, while others climb traditional ladders, You might create entirely new professions or find ways to monetize skills that others don't even recognize as valuable. In investment strategies, while others follow market trends, you might identify opportunities in sectors that haven't yet been discovered by mainstream investors. Your unconventional thinking also applies to problem solving in daily life. When others see obstacles, you see puzzles to solve creatively. When they encounter systems that don't work for them, you find ways to work around or through those systems. When they accept inefficiencies as inevitable, you design more effective approaches. This cognitive advantage compounds over time. Each unconventional solution you develop strengthens your confidence in your ability to think differently. Each successful outcome that others said was impossible reinforces your willingness to trust your own analysis over conventional wisdom. Each problem you solve in an unexpected way expands your mental toolkit for future challenges. The key is maintaining this thinking ability without becoming contrarian for its own sake. Unconventional thinking isn't about being different just to be different. It's about being willing to think differently when conventional approaches aren't working. Sometimes the conventional approach is actually the best one, and the Sigma is wise enough to recognize when that's the case. However, your willingness to think unconventionally gives you options that others don't have. When everyone else is stuck using the same failing strategies, you can pivot to approaches they haven't considered. When markets become saturated with conventional competitors, you can create new market categories entirely. When social or economic systems begin failing, you can adapt in ways that others cannot. This mental flexibility is particularly valuable in rapidly changing environments. While others struggle to adapt their thinking to new realities, you've already developed the cognitive muscles needed to reimagine approaches quickly. Your unconventional thinking isn't just a creative luxury, it's a survival advantage in an increasingly unpredictable world. Building strength from social rejection. Every Sigma male has a collection of rejection stories. Times when groups excluded you, when your ideas were dismissed, when your authentic self was deemed not quite right for the situation. While these experiences can be painful in the moment, they contain the raw materials for building unshakable inner strength that serves you for the rest of your life. Social rejection teaches lessons that acceptance never can. When you're included and celebrated, you learn what others want from you, but you don't necessarily learn who you really are or what you're truly capable of. Rejection strips away illusions and forces you to confront fundamental questions about your values, your goals, and your identity, independent of others' opinions. Consider how rejection builds emotional resilience. The first time someone important rejects you, whether it's a potential employer, romantic interest, or social group, it feels devastating. But as you survive that rejection and continue building your life, you realize that their opinion wasn't as crucial as you thought. The second rejection hurts less. The third barely registers. Eventually, you develop immunity to the opinions of people who don't truly know or understand you. This emotional immunity becomes a superpower in negotiations, leadership situations, and competitive environments. While others modify their behavior to avoid potential rejection, you can take calculated risks and make necessary but unpopular decisions. While they compromise their vision to maintain approval, you can stay true to your authentic path, regardless of others' reactions. Rejection also teaches you to validate yourself internally rather than seeking external validation. When others consistently fail to appreciate your worth, you're forced to develop your own standards of success and meaning. This internal validation system is far more reliable than external approval because it can't be taken away by others' changing opinions or circumstances. Professional rejection often redirects you toward better opportunities. That job you didn't get might have led you to start your own business. That promotion you were passed over for might have motivated you to change industries entirely. That investor who rejected your idea might have saved you from a partnership that would have limited your potential. Looking back, many Sigma males can trace their greatest successes to doors that were closed in their faces. Romantic rejection serves a similar function, filtering out people who weren't genuinely compatible with your authentic self. The person who rejected you for being too intense, too independent, or too unconventional wasn't capable of appreciating your Sigma nature anyway. Their rejection saved you both from a relationship that would have required you to suppress your true character. The key is learning to extract strength from rejection without becoming bitter or defensive. Rejection isn't personal. It's simply information about compatibility, timing, or circumstances. The Sigma who has been rejected extensively learns to see it as market research rather than personal judgment. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent to others' opinions or closing yourself off from feedback. It means developing the wisdom to distinguish between rejection that contains valuable information and rejection that simply reflects others' limitations or preferences. You learn to take criticism seriously from people whose judgment you respect, while dismissing negativity from those who don't understand your vision or values. Building strength from social rejection ultimately teaches you that your worth isn't determined by others' acceptance. Your value comes from your character, your contributions, your growth, and your authenticity. Once you truly internalize this lesson, you become virtually unstoppable, because there's nothing others can threaten to take away that you haven't already. Learn to live without. As we wrap up this exploration of the Sigma male's greatest paradox, remember this: your difference isn't something to be cured or hidden. It's something to be cultivated and celebrated. Every moment you felt like an outsider, every time you've been misunderstood, every instance where you've seen solutions that others couldn't grasp, these weren't signs of failure. These were signs of your Sigma nature awakening. The world needs men who think differently, who aren't afraid to challenge the status quo, who can see opportunities where others see obstacles. Your curse of being different is actually your blessing of being exceptional. The question isn't whether you should embrace this difference. The question is how quickly you can learn to leverage it. Your journey as a Sigma male isn't about fitting into someone else's definition of success or happiness. It's about creating your own definitions and then achieving them on your own terms. It's about transforming every supposed weakness into a strategic advantage, every rejection into redirection towards something better, every moment of isolation into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. The curse of seeing what others cannot see becomes the gift of clarity in a confused world. The fear that society shows toward your difference becomes confirmation that you're disrupting systems that needed disrupting. The strategic advantage of being misunderstood becomes the freedom to operate without interference. The isolation transforms into independence that others desperately wish they possessed. Your unconventional thinking becomes the source of solutions that others desperately need. And your social rejection becomes the foundation of unshakable strength that no external force can diminish. This is just the beginning of understanding your true Sigma potential. If you want to continue this journey of self-discovery and learn how to turn every aspect of your Sigma nature into unstoppable advantage, subscribe to Official Sigma Male. We're building a community of men who refuse to settle for ordinary, and your journey towards Sigma mastery starts with that simple click. The world tried to make you fit in. It's time to show them why you were born to stand out.